All right, I think we're streaming. Well, welcome everybody. Really excited to have you. My name is Patrick. I run the marketing department here at Art Storefronts. And what are we going to do today? We'll talk about the software a little bit. We will sort of talk about what we're calling the five pillars that will put you on a path to 100K a year plus art business. And I'll get into everything with that. And then we open it up to your Q&A. Which is the most fun part of the whole thing. So if you've got questions, nothing's off bounds, nothing's off limits. It can literally be anything. Want to hear about it? Yeah, and we'll get into everything. So let's get things started promptly. And you guys can be on camera or not be on camera. We love looking at you, but I hate being on camera, so I totally understand. But thanks, Michael, for being on camera, and Colette and Brad and Laura and Margie. Okay, Taylor, why don't you get it started, and then I'll be right back.
Sounds good. All right, everybody, welcome to today's session. My name's Taylor. I'm on the marketing team at Art Storefronts, one of the people putting together our many resources and consulting and mentoring our members on a regular basis in workshops like these. Today's session is for non-members, so this is a free, wide-open session, and how it's a little bit different than what you get as a member. Our member workshops, which we hold 5 times a week at this point on various topics, are largely tactical, right? So it's giving our members ongoing advice, tweaks to their strategy, checking in with them, seeing how far they've gotten since we last spoke, and making sure their business is always growing. By contrast, today will be largely about what we call unclogging the drain. Before you're even ready for tactical or strategic advice, you need to get the big thing out of the way. And we found through these non-member workshops that most artists and photographers out there have something. They have a big thing in their way. It can be a mindset problem, some kind of self-limiting belief that if you just simply do away with it, the path becomes clear, or it could be something more practical like not doing something that you really need to be doing. Whatever it is, we're going to find out about it today and fix it for you. Before we get into all that good stuff, I have 2 segments for you up top here, opening remarks. The first one, stuff you need to know about this workshop, how it works. The second, a little bit of an overview on Art Storefronts, just to get some context, set the stage, who we are and what we do. First up, the need to know information about today's workshop. To get in line to chat with us, right? To get unmuted and start to get some help, you need to use the raise hand button in Zoom. So at the bottom of your Zoom window, you'll see the participants button. You're going to hit that, and that'll open this on the right-hand side, where you'll find the blue raise hand button. You hit that, and that will do it. Raise hand. You'll see up here, your name will show the blue raise hand button. That's the system we use. We go top to bottom, unmuting everyone that has their hand raised and helping them out. So if you have a question up front, you want to talk to us, you can do that right now and get early in line, so you'll be one of the first people to get some help today. If something comes up later and you don't have a question yet, but something comes to mind, you can always do it later in the session too. The second thing you need to know is that we have a page that we call the show notes. And that's where we aggregate all of the links to resources that come up today. So if one of us says we have a really good video about that, or we say we actually have a podcast episode that would help you out, you don't need to be hunting around for that in the moment. We're doing that for you. We're collecting it all. Here's what the page looks like. We're going to send this to you after today's session ends. We're going to email it to you. So you'll find the replay at the top. Right, so if you have to leave early or you arrived late, or even if you missed it altogether, you can always catch up with the replay here. And then this is the show notes section I was talking about. All the links will be there, everything that came up. So you'll have that. Don't worry about looking anything up. In the moment, we're taking care of it. I should also mention on this page while you're here, there are a couple of request a demo buttons. Those are your go-to spots for either signing up if you just want to get going, or reaching out to us, having a more in-depth chat about our features and our pricing and stuff like that. That's how you start those conversations. If you just want to do your research and get to know us, see if there's a good fit, you hit the request a demo button, you fill out the form, and we'll get in touch. That's how you do that. Okay, second segment today, what even is Art Storefronts, okay? So here is the very quick overview. And like I said, the demo is where they go in depth. They'll do an hour for you. They'll answer as many questions as you have. But today, I don't know how many people here already know everything about us, nothing about us. So I'll just go right down the middle and do a very quick overview. There are two halves to art storefronts. There is the website software, right? So that is the art selling website. And then there's the marketing program, and that is really the fuel for that website engine. The website could be fantastic. We believe it's the best website software for artists ever designed. We really believe that, and I'll show you why in a moment. However, all of the power of that website is meaningless if there's no one on it. So the marketing program is what completes the whole membership. I'll show you both halves now, starting with the website. There are hundreds of features. It is very difficult to give you a full overview of everything that's going on with this software. So I think I will just show you what's really most important, right? The product page. At the end of the day, everything on your website is designed around getting people here to the product page where then they can check out and buy your artwork. So what is the big deal with these product pages? To explain that, let's just clarify that I'm showing you an artwork product page today. That's the important one. We also have what we call standard product pages, and that's where you can sell anything. If you have ceramics, jewelry, clothing, you can sell all of those product types on art storefronts. It does not need to be solely wall art. But I want to show you the wall art product page because there's an important thing to get straight here. These pages are set up specifically to sell wall art. That's in contrast to a website provider like Squarespace that has to have their product pages work for all product types, whether you're selling artwork or toilet paper or electric scooters, right? It works for everything, which creates a master of none situation when it comes to their features. They have not considered artwork in particular, so they have not addressed the problems, the challenges with selling artwork online like we have. The big deal with selling artwork online is that there is a lot of friction. It is not a product like toilet paper or electric scooters where you want what it does and you find the one that you like and you buy it. It's a little more complicated than that. Buying art is an emotional journey. You fall in love with the work. You get to know the artist through their emails and their social media posts. You save up for it. Eventually you get the wall space open, but even then you have questions like which piece should I select and how is it going to look with my wall paint color? How's it going to work with the other pieces of artwork in my collection? Will my spouse like it? How do I show it to them in the best way? What are the media types available? I've never heard of this word acrylic. Is that worth looking into? What size is going to work for my space? I don't want it to look too small or of course too big. All of these questions are where you lose sales. People have those questions. Your website does not answer them and they never get it answered. They leave. You cannot rely on people reaching out to you actively to ask these questions, right? Your website needs to passively answer them for you all the time. Whenever that question comes up, whichever one it is, your website comes in and says, oh, here you go. Got the help for you right here. Problem solved. Keep going. Keep making the purchase, right? That is what maximizes art sales. Let's start by just looking at the layout of the page. Image on the left, buying options on the right. Not below, not somewhere down the page you need to scroll to find. Everything is visible on one screen and it's all expanded. There's not drop downs. Everything is image based. This is like the express lane to checking out artwork online. Beyond that, you can offer every version of an image side by side. The open edition prints are right here. With one click, you can start shopping the limited edition prints, signed and numbered, highest quality, that sort of thing. With another click, you're over to the original version of that image. If the original is available, you could step up and buy it right here. Finally, the multi-panel. This is where you break up a single image into 3 prints, right? So it's a huge upsell. You turn one print sale into 3, very sleek and modern presentation. I love that one. If you don't offer one of these media types, like you're a photographer, so you don't have originals, you wouldn't have this tab on your website. This is just showing all the possible options, but you'll set it up to whatever you actually offer. So if you don't have limited editions, it's gone. It's not on your actual site. It adapts to what you actually sell. Within these, let's look at the open edition prints. Now, the big challenge there is explaining the media types. The average art consumer does not know terms like canvas gallery wrap, Giclée print, metal, acrylic. They don't know what these look like. They don't know what they are. So it becomes difficult to make a smart decision until they do. So the website's job is to educate them very quickly and visually. So here's how we've done that. When you click on one of the media types, the preview over on the left-hand side adapts in a subtle way. So this adds a little bit of virtual depth to this image because we've selected the canvas option. That clues people in, oh, this is that traditional thick gallery look. Beyond that, maybe they don't know what metal is, you can hover on these tooltips here, the little question marks, and then you can launch a video. These are custom videos we've produced just for our members that show every angle of these media types and summarize the benefits. They're about 15 seconds long, and they instantly create that connection of, oh, that is what I want. Very powerful. Beyond those buying tools, you have the visualization tools. This is for questions like, I love the piece, I know I want it on metal, I'm just not sure if it's really gonna look good in my space, or how large I should buy. That's where the visualization tools come in. Wall preview is the starter there. You can select a room type, and you can get going very quickly, a good representation of what size you need, right? So let's step it up, the 30, that looks good. The 32 looks even better, right? You're stepping it in. We've got wall color here. These aren't random. These are the top selling paint colors from last year from Benjamin Moore, Sherwin-Williams. So there's a high likelihood your buyers will actually find their real wall color right in here. Very simple, very fast. So this helps clear up some of those questions, but we take it to the next level with live room preview. You can see the button here and also on the product page right here, live preview AR. This is an augmented reality tool that allows people to use their mobile or tablet device to visualize the artwork on their actual wall, not a virtual space, not a hypothetical wall, their actual wall space. So you can see in this video here, it projects it onto their wall. They can start to select the sizing and see how everything looks. They can move it around the wall space, and now there is no translation problem, right? It is not close to their wall color or whatever. It is their real actual space. The most powerful part of this feature, because other websites have this type of functionality via an app. Ours works in the web browser. There is no downloading and installing an app. They're right in the checkout process. They pop open this tool. It works on their phone. They close the tool once they're happy, and they continue checking out. That is the game-changing part of it. So overall, I think that does a good job of summarizing a few of the features of the product page here, but that is your drop in the bucket overview. It goes on and on. Art Buyer AI recognizes and informs you when a likely collector has visited your site. We have tools that allow you to fire off very quick emails to welcome personally new subscribers, to reach out when someone has added something to their cart but not checked out, right? Give you a shot to close that sale. The features really go on and on. QR codes, selling sheets. I couldn't possibly summarize it today. Request a demo if you want to see a little bit more. But that is the engine. The Ferrari in your driveway. Let's talk about the fuel that goes in it, the marketing program. Of course, when it comes to artists, you guys do not want to be marketing. I understand that completely. You want to be creating the work and selling it. That's it. But the in-between step is very necessary, and it is marketing. So let's talk about how we make that process as painless as possible while still getting you doing the work that you must do to grow a small business. The centerpiece to our marketing program, where it all comes back to, is the art marketing calendar. That is the core piece. Everything else just supports this. The marketing calendar is a daily plan that tells you exactly what to do every single day of the year. It provides you with all the email language you'll need to pull off sales, a Black Friday sale, something like that. And it gives you the advice that you need to turn your casual followers into leads. That's people on your email list. Your leads into first-time buyers, and your buyers into lifelong repeat collectors. We walk you through it on a daily basis. It is not overwhelming. It is not a knowledge base where you need to watch 55 videos and then just implement what they said. All you need to do is look at today. We're on Wednesday. What do they say to do? I have 3 tasks to complete. It should take me about 30 minutes. Let's do it. 3 tasks, 1, 2, 3, knocked it out. You have done what you need to do for your business today. It's that simple. let's look at what this thing is. So up top, attention newbies. This is a section with 4 steps we want our new members to complete before they get down to the full calendar. Some highlights here. We have a workshop every Wednesday where our marketing team will look at your new Art Storefronts website, go through the major pages, and make sure that it's set up according to best practices from a marketing point of view, right? So before you even launch, you make sure you're going to be closing every possible sale. We also have a campaign, a 14-day campaign that we want all new members to execute. It's just like the calendar. It tells you what to do day by day. Post this message on Facebook and post this message on Instagram and send this email. Very simple to follow. And that campaign is themed around celebrating your new website in a way that will generate you some leads and maybe some sales too right up top. So we ask everyone to do that before getting into the calendar with everyone else. Below the newbie section, we have the live workshop schedule that has your look at what's coming up this week, when you can join us in Zoom in our members-only workshops. We have some announcements that go here. We have a strategic overview, step 3. This section is written by our CEO and our director of marketing, and in it, they give you their advice, what they would do if they were running your business this month, where your head should be at, right? So the calendar below is your daily bit-by-bit look. This section is the high-level overview, what you should be thinking about your major goals for the month. And then you have the calendar itself. You can see it's day by day. We have a bit of hierarchy here where we put the most important tasks in red and everything else in black. Nothing goes on here that's not important to do, right? So the black tasks are not unimportant. It's just that if you have very limited time, you have family obligations, a part or full-time job, and you can't get to the entire calendar, no problem. Do the red stuff first. And then if you have extra time, do the black tasks. Most people have no problem completing 75% or more of the calendar though. It's not a huge obligation because we do so much of the work upfront for you in terms of writing the subject lines you should be sending and giving you lots of examples whenever anything needs to be created. It's day by day. You've got the major task of the day, and then you've got Go to Tasks, a button that jumps you down the page to the full explanation of the day. It'll give you an objective for the day and then break down what you need to be doing into tasks. 1, 2, 3, do these things. Very easy to follow. Everything else, like I said, supports this system. So our workshops in general are supporting our members as they're following this calendar. You check in with us, you say, I did the Saturday, Sunday task, and I got these results. What can I do to boost them even further? Or I see next week I need to be doing this, but I don't have my head around it fully yet. Can you talk to me a little bit more about it? All that sort of stuff. We make sure our members are moving together through the calendar all at the same time. When we do something new, right? So we've recently started doing these live art shows. We have a playbook on how to execute a live art show from home. And our members are having some huge successes with this, selling dozens of pieces from home on Instagram or Facebook Live. That is an example of something where after everyone does this together, we have hundreds, maybe even 1,000 people running these live shows simultaneously. Then the following week, we have 6 or 7 or 8 of the people that had the most success with that strategy come on a live workshop for our members and just talk through what they did. We hear out, how did they address it specifically? Was there anything that was a little different than anyone else? How did they see that success? That way all of the members can hear what's working from the other members, and then we go ahead and update all of our playbooks with the new learnings. So there is nothing in this program that is static, that is a dead blog post style article from 6 years ago that may or may not be relevant today. We are updating these things on a weekly basis, checking in with our members. If enough people report that this part didn't work for them, it didn't really seem to do anything, it gets pulled out, right? We are live adjusting all of our resources so that when you join in, you get the learnings of the past several years just baked into everything. So I've talked a lot about how our members interact with us, get mentorship and consulting from us via the workshops, but we also have a venue for them to get help from each other when they need to talk shop or just get input from a whole bunch of artists really quick on a topic like, how do you address shipping? How do you go about some kind of tax situation? All that sort of stuff. The Small Wins Facebook group is the place for that. It's private, just for our members, and that is where they go to ask for help, share their small wins, as we call it, all the little successes that stack up into a successful business. Does anyone know how to patent or copyright a design? Get some help from our members on that. So this is the place to go when you need to quickly poll a huge group of people that have gotten further than you, right? That already have gotten where you want to go and have the learnings, the quick learnings that they can summarize for you. Between all of these resources that all fall back on the calendar, you have a marketing system that keeps you in line, that keeps you moving, that does not simply present you with 1,000 hours of content and asks you to explore it at your own pace, figure out for yourself which things you should be following and which things you should ignore. This is about the calendar. It's about cutting out all the time you waste thinking about what you should and shouldn't be doing. That is the time saver here, the big game changer. You no longer need to think about all the possible things. We've already done that. We've highlighted what you should be doing, the best return on your time. All right, that is my rant. I was going to say short rant. I know it wasn't short, but it's very difficult to compress everything we have going on into a format like this. So thanks for listening. Again, the website is your engine. The marketing program is the fuel for that engine. So with that said, let's get into the consulting. I think we're all on the same page now, so let's do that drain unclogging I talked about in the beginning. I'll turn it over to our hosts.
Okay, thanks, Taylor. Drain unclogging, I like it. Big picture, do we have software? Yeah. Do we help with marketing? Yeah. Really, what do we do in a sentence? We're solving the starving artist problem. Starving artist and photographer. As we've refined our thinking and gotten better at what we've done over the years, I think we've been in business like a little bit over 7 years now. Really sort of what we've arrived at is our job is to put artists and photographers on the path to a 6-figure year plus art business. And I realize that that's a lofty goal, a lofty statement. And some of you are like, 6 figures, I haven't even sold a piece yet. What the heck are you talking about? Yeah, you aim for the stars, you end up in the clouds, right? You 10x whatever the goal is. Do we have a whole lot of artists in the 6-figure range? No, we don't. But we do have a good clip of them. We have a very good number of them, but it's not the majority. There's an 80-20 of our customers. 80% of our customers are not full time. It's a side hustle. They're looking to do it in retirement. They have a day job. So, you set the lofty goal, right? And the point of the thing is, yes, it's a lofty goal. Yes, it's a BHAG. Yes, aim for the stars, land in the clouds. But it's the same path. Wherever you want to get off that path is up to you, right? Like maybe you're just looking to sell $20,000 worth of art a year or $40,000 of art a year, whatever it is. What we found is that there's essentially 5 pillars to this business, okay? To the lofty goal of a 6-figure a year plus art business. And even if you're beyond that, the path doesn't change all that much. And before we get into the 5 pillars, or I should say pillar number 1, which we affectionately refer to as unclog the drain, right? So the analogy is artists and photographers, and we've talked to literally hundreds of thousands collectively as a company, been running these sessions with non-customers, with our customers. What we found is that in order for all the good stuff to start going down the drain, you got to get what's clogged in the drain out of the drain. And call them self-limiting beliefs, call it utter, total, complete nonsense, BS, nonsensical advice that you received somewhere else. Things like your niche is different. Things like I just don't know about my media types. I sell these huge things. Things like there is some sort of website out there that exists that you can magically upload your images to, not do any work on your marketing, and get to a 6-figure a year business. Or one of my personal favorites, I'll do great if I can just find that high net worth email list everyone's talking about for collectors. That list is like Bigfoot. Everyone's heard about it. No one's ever seen it, okay? It does not exist. So there's all of these various different recurring patterns of self-limiting beliefs that somehow have artists and photographers thinking there's a passive income way to do it, that you don't need to work on your marketing, that there's some sort of magical website that you could upload to, and it's always some new shiny object, right? It's upload to this site, and then it's get some new website over here, and maybe it's change websites again and upload over here, and then you're going to try the gallery. And what ends up happening is no one ever works consistently at anything, and you're not taking any forward steps in the business. So got to unclog the drain. Got to get that nonsense out of the drain. Once we do, we can get into the other 4 pillars. That was number 1. Number 2, understanding the business model, okay? DTC or die. It's that simple. Direct to consumer. There should be absolutely no middlemen, no one in between you and selling to your end customer. You need to be retaining all of your customers' data, their email address. You can contact them again. Turns out average collectors will buy 5 to 7 pieces over a lifetime. That's a Weiland stat, but we see even higher than that with like a number of our customers. So the direct to consumer business model. And honestly, I think COVID, big situations like this, life changing, the most extraordinary thing likely anyone on this call has ever lived through, has sort of sped up technological adoption such that the art industry is ready for the disruption. Happened to the music industry, happened to the taxi industry, happened in the movie industry. Anybody heard of Blockbuster? They're gone, right? Like streaming. So the traditional way of selling art through galleries, 50%. Don't get to keep your buyers. Online galleries, not 50%, but they're taking money. Don't get to keep access to your buyers. The shows and the fairs, loading the car, setting up the booth, 8 hours on your feet, eating crappy food, staying in a motel, going back, you're exhausted, is all just sort of been obliterated in this short term, right? Is it going to come back? Yes, of course it's going to come back. Is it going to come back at the same strength anytime soon? Does not look good. So this direct to consumer model, we literally believe it's DTC or die. It's the only way to get on the path. Number 3, the secret to effective marketing. It's taken me my entire career to figure this out. There is no damn secret. It's 2 things. That's it. 1, working on the highest ROI, okay? ROI is return on investment, time, energy, effort, treasure. If you work on the high ROI marketing activities, obviously, which we teach you, we have a ton of data on this, and you ignore all the shiny objects and the nonsense and SEO and all the rest of the crap that these people are telling you works, which it doesn't, you're on the path. High ROI activities, doing it consistently year over year. That's it. That's the secret. And you know what no one ever does? Consistently work on the high ROI activities. It's one shiny object after another. Get discouraged. Don't do anything for 6 months. Happens again and again and again. That's number 3. Number 4, the inputs, okay? This is the combination pillar, right? We always use this quote. We love it. You are the average of the 5 friends that you spend the most time with, right? I'm not telling you to change your friends. I'm just saying if you look at the inputs that most artists and photographers have in their life, okay, they're either negative or they're telling them nonsense. Do this, do that, don't do that. Art doesn't sell online. You can't build a business like this. I mean, like the corollary, not the corollary, but the example in today's day and age, shut off the news. Do it completely. No TV, no print, no journalism of any kind, and see how much happier of a human being you are. You're happy. You don't think the world's ending. You like your neighbors. You think you live in a nice country. It's like those inputs, they just, they get in there without you realizing it, and all of a sudden it just brings you down. So that's the inputs. Number 5 is the perspective. And the perspective is so important, and no one has the right perspective. Everyone thinks, well, maybe it's because Instagram and everyone sees people on Instagram on private jets and the Prada bags and everything else, that you can just somehow get in this business and 2 to 3 months later, you're selling $10,000 a month and taking the vacations and everything else. The example I use, and I think it's a good example, I live in Southern California. I used to drive to the bottom right-hand corner of California, Mexico, and Arizona, ride motorcycles in the desert. 4-hour drive with a trailer, okay? 4-hour drive. On the way, halfway is my mother-in-law's house, okay? And I used to blow past my mother-in-law's house, no thinking about it at all the way there, okay? Fast forward to today. 2 kids riding motorcycles, not so much anymore, okay? Wife doesn't like it. So now, when I go and drive to my mother-in-law's house, okay, I start getting close, like hour 45 minutes, I start getting antsy and fidgety. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And I sit there and I think in my mind, wait a minute. When I was driving 2.5 times that, I never even thought about it. I wasn't antsy in the slightest, right? And so when you have the perspective of how long it's going to take for you to grow this business, you're not getting antsy. You're not going, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And quitting, right? And that's what everyone does. So those are the 5 pillars. I think if you understand those, start working on those, there has never, and I'm not kidding, ever been a better time to be an artist or photographer selling direct. And in large part, the fact that all of the 50% haircut, drive to the booth things is being obliterated by what technology can do. The increase in adoption from technology, okay? And it's 1, increased e-commerce adoption. I don't think it's going away anymore anytime soon. The percentages that it's jumped up is absolutely insane. I mean, my parents are ordering their groceries online. Like, what? My mom's never done that in her entire life. And she loves it, and it'll probably stay that way. So there's the increased adoption. And then also, the silver lining in all of this, which is just sort of incredible, is everybody's at home. They're not going back to work. So what has that created? A situation where home decor across the board has exploded. Okay. It's not just our sales data or Etsy's recent filings or Wayfair, which is like the Amazon of home decor. Everyone's actually at home. They're on video calls all the time, and they're finally sick enough of their white walls to do something about it. So art sales, photography sales online are like above Black Friday levels. There's this tool called Google Trends, and it's like, when you go into Google and you type the trend into Google and it searches. So Google Trends tracks the total search volume of searches over a yearly basis, a period. If you Google Trends and you put in buy art online, it's among the highest levels it's ever been. So the point is that if this situation remains, lockdowns, COVID comes back in winter, you're not going back to work, everyone is spending more money on their homes, period. And so it is just art, photography sales online emerged as a winner out of this thing. Huge thing to a blessing, right? A blessing. There's a lot of losers in this, in this dumpster fire of a situation we're in. So that's what I would say. That's my rant. Love to open it up to questions. We've got a bunch of hands up. We'll come back, clean up the chat. But what's stuck in your drain? What's stuck in the drain? There's got to be something stuck in the drain. I want to hear about it. Okay, Gary Everett, you're up next. Gary, go ahead. You might need to unmute yourself, Gary. It's the mic icon.
Okay.
Yeah, gotcha.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we gotcha.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm definitely one of the people who needs to unclog and
Yep. Tell me about it, Gary.
Clogging. Procrastination is kind of like my Achilles heel. So I think I have something definitely worth bringing out there to the market. I'm just trying to kind of get out of my own way with procrastinating and trying to like wait for a more better time. I just think like the time is now, and I just want to try and get myself lined up with people who kind of are in that same mind frame to kind of push me accordingly. Like push me, I'll push you.
Yep, Gary, trust me, you are literally the first person I've ever heard with this problem. A, procrastinator. B, likely a perfectionist too. You're the only one, Gary. You're the only one. Have you sold your stuff, period, to someone not named mom, dad, best friends?
Yes, I have sold things at galleries and shows and all that.
Okay.
But I'm trying to create more repeat business, and I just kind of need to develop that side of myself a lot more.
Yep.
And right now with COVID, all the art shows are like flat. I have no choice but to go online. So
it's actually it's a remarkable time for it. Look, if you've, I made a podcast about this 2 years ago, and I still feel guilty about it a little bit, but I called it the "Does My Art Suck" test. Okay, I'm a marketer. I write provocative headlines. It's what I do. I feel guilty about it, but it's in there. But the larger picture is, step one is validating the fact that you have a product that the market actually wants. So if you sold art or photography to people not named mom, dad, or best friend who would lay down in traffic for you, they'd buy anything you created, then you're ready. Then you prove that the market does indeed have what you want. So now you just got to get a properly set up website. Guess what? We provide those, and then start in on your marketing. And the best thing for you, and I'll tell this as a quick story, like aside. Prior to the pandemic, and we've been at this for a while, we thought we were like pretty awesome, right? Like we had this incredible digital education. We had an incredible podcast. We created these things called playbooks, and the playbooks are like step-by-step audio video guides that walk you through every aspect of marketing, right? So there you are. We thought we were so sweet. Turns out that if you just provide digital education, there's a stat. 30% of the people that buy these classes on Masterclass or Kajabi or lynda.com or take your pick, 30% actually finish them. Why? Because learning in a vacuum is too difficult. You need a support structure. And what we found is, so right when the pandemic hit, we started doing Zoom calls with our customers. And literally there's like in software, there's this like survey widget, like, hey, rate your experience, like those annoying ones in the phone call afterwards where you just had a bad experience and you just want to hang up. It's called NPS. And once we did this, our NPS score jumped to like an unheard of level because all of our customers were so much happier being in a group that is, no joke, yes, tactical education and teaching. It's with me and the other marketing brass, and we go over the thing. But more important than that, to your point, Gary, it's support, okay? Group therapy, okay? Accountability, all rolled into one. And that part has been the most amazing because I tell everybody live art shows, live video, the future of selling art and photography online. Okay. No two ways about it. Everyone hears that, nods their head, and goes, A, I'm terrified of being on video. B, I hate being on video. C, I don't have the equipment to get on video. Then next week, a wiry 75-year-old gentleman with a face for radio comes back in and he's like, I went live. I sold 2 commissions in original. And all of a sudden, Gary in his chair, which was real comfortable, has a little fire under his ass in there, okay? And it's the rising tide. It's the rising tide that lifts all boats. So I'm telling you, you're ready. Click a demo, talk to the people. We can help you out. No question about it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep. And if you get in there, I will be holding the fire poker too, Gary. Go, get that thing in the water. Get that thing in the water. Okay, it's gonna be T. Wesley Carroll, then Laura, then Kevin, then Rhonda. Okay, T. Wesley, you're up. You had it, and then you lost it. You'll have to unmute the mic on the bottom. I'll tell you when you get it. You just click that microphone icon, and it'll pop off. I thought you had it, or he had it. Okay, T. Wesley, I'm going to circle back. You keep working on those audio issues. Okay, Laura Madden, you're up. Gotcha.
Let's see. Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we gotcha.
Hi, thank you. First of all, just started following you guys a couple weeks ago, and I've binged on your podcast and have gotten so much out of it. So thank you for everything.
Don't blame me for the does my art suck one. Did you see that one? I feel guilty about it still. I really do.
No.
Okay.
So I had left the question about I think one of my problems at the moment is shipping of the art.
Yes.
And I'm assuming from listening to you, one, I think it's probably like a rookie thing because I'm so new to selling my art, but it's probably a clog the drain because like I've been like digging into what my problem is with this, and I really struggle with asking people for more money. It's just like, I mean, to ship and part of it is my prices are, I feel, pretty severely underpriced, and I'm doing that because I'm so new. I want to sell as much as I can to build a following and whatnot. But I mean, like,
this is another one. This is another one. Do you know what it kind of is? It's like we're sitting there at the boatyard, right? And we're building the boat. Okay, it's on dry land. We're building the boat. And the only thing that we need to worry about is whether that boat floats. And instead, Laura, you're going, I got to get these curtains to look the right way I want them to look. Once these curtains are the right way, we'll be able to get the boat in the water, right? Like if you start selling, the shipping is so easy to take care of. It's so easy. You either do it yourself. If that's a pain in the butt, you hire someone from Craigslist to do it, and it gets done. And everyone knows that they have to pay extra for shipping. That's just how it goes with art.
No, I'm learning that. But still, I have a hard time like asking for more. I think sometimes the shipping is more than my painting even cost. So for me, like that just plays with my brain. Like
yeah.
But you're saying hire someone from Craigslist to ship, meaning to pack it for me?
Yeah. But it seems to me you're worried about the pricing of the shipping, not the actual doing the work. Yeah, just the pricing.
Yeah. And I'm not going to do it myself either. I don't trust myself that I could do it with the integrity that it would get there safely.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go there. That stresses me out as well.
Yep.
So I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm going to pay for at least the packing myself. I'll ask them to pay for shipping, but I don't know.
Just raise your prices. This is very simple. I want you to have a strong-ish drink and/or sedative. Raise all of your prices 30%. Solved. Keep moving and start selling. That's simple. It's that simple. If you can't do it, have your husband, spouse, whatever, start ringing your finger. Have him do it. He would love to. It would be so easy. Just close your eyes, let him do it, and then go.
But do you agree that for a new artist such as myself, I mean, it's
absolutely not. Absolutely not. I do not agree. Raise your prices. I bang the raise your prices drum all the time. You want to know why? Because if you don't sell, you know what you do? Lower them right back down. No one's going to know. It's okay, Laura. Let me take that burden. Hand that burden over to me. I'm going to take this off your chest, move it over here. No burden. Just raise the prices to include the shipping and get selling. Or say shipping's not included. That's it. Your biggest issue is just to sell it. Once you start selling, everything else becomes so easy. So easy. Also too, look, this piece So let's say you have a piece and you sell it for $1,000. Okay. What I want you to do when you quote it, I want you to say, this piece normally sells for $1,750, but because we're in the middle of this COVID disaster dumpster fire, I'm trying to make it easier on my buyer, so I'll lower it to $1,000. And what you find is by going up in your mind and then coming down, not only will your buyers respond better, but it'll make it a little bit easier for you. Don't overthink it, Laura. Don't do it. Don't do it. Quote high, come low, or have the husband raise the prices. You're worth it.
Yeah, I could raise.
Yes.
And then you're saying raise, but still say shipping is not included.
Either or. But like, all I know is that, like, you're not selling, and you need to worry about selling, nothing else. So if you want to keep with your price, I know, and it's like stopping you dead in your tracks. This is exactly the clog in the drain. Like, you just take it out, or you don't do the selling, have your husband sit in and do it, right? Or have a friend sit in and do it. Like, sometimes it just, you got to get the drain unclogged. And this is another perfect example of, like, where the big Zoom peer groups call, because everyone will just go, oh my gosh, this is me to a T. This is me to a T. Just raise the prices. Don't worry about it. And then one day you're going to be like, okay, just going to raise the prices and do it. And then the next thing you know, you say it, you feel like you're about to have a heart attack, and then you get through it, and then someone's like, sold. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I imagine some people might look at my art and see how inexpensive it is, and imagine, and just that turns them off, because they think it's because everything I do is upcycled, it's repurposed. So, but I don't want it to look that way. So maybe
we can help you. How much of it have you sold?
Okay, so since September, I've sold 38 pieces.
Okay. Send her the demo request link. Get in here. We will help you tremendously. Once you upload everything and all the why am I blanking on the name? What is the margins are all set. So all the prices just go up because you just put in like a 250% markup. That's the word I was looking for, markup. Then it's set, it's done, and it's ready to go. Look, there's a lot of people that don't want to buy cheap stuff, right?
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah.
You're ready to go. If you sold that much, whatever you have is clearly awesome. You're ready to roll.
Okay.
Don't worry. We're gonna take that right out of the drain.
Well, I appreciate that so much, and thank you. I am gonna look on Craigslist for somebody who can do packing.
Yeah, sell first. Yeah, 100%. And I was putting in the chat, like, now we're talking about the other end of the shipping question, and then I'll get going on the rest of the questions. I watched my buddy. Okay, he ran 2 live art shows, and we can get into those. I'm so bullish on these things; it's unbelievable. And he's a guy that sells, like, his price points are on the high pieces, like 25 grand, like, and such, and down to like 15 or so. And this is stuff he'd had in his basement for like ever. It was like just collecting dust. And so he had a basement sale. That's what he called it, right? And he's showing the pieces, and it's older work, stuff he'd done like 5 or 7 years later. 65 pieces he sold. 32,000 Canadian, okay, in 15 days of doing this. So, I say that, and everybody gloms on to, like, well, how'd you do that? Like, don't get me wrong. This guy's got a social following. He's an extremely talented artist, okay? And when you have a normal price point of like 20, 25, 15, and all of a sudden there's pieces going for sub $1,000, people went nuts. But I watched him do all the shipping, and my goodness, it was like 2 weeks to box everything up. I'm like, what are you doing? You are an extremely talented artist. This is not growing your business. Other people can do this. And I yelled at him quite a bit. So don't do the shipping. Not high leverage activity. But we can help you, Laura. I'm telling you. You should request a demo. We'll get you rolling. Okay. T. Wesley, did you get unmuted? Yep, we got you.
Can you hear me now?
Gotcha.
Hey guys, I really do appreciate all of this information.
Oh, thank you.
You're right. You're right on from my perspective. I'm a little bit different animal though than I think is your typical customer. I'm exploring this opportunity to sell what I'm referring to as vintage art.
Okay.
Clearly you're right. The whole art industry, retail industry has been disrupted. And so, how many of us are wandering through antique stores and, galleries that sell?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah. And, you're right. It'll probably come back someday. But in the meantime, I've been exploring this opportunity to see if there's an opportunity here to, and I'm not even looking for six figures, honestly. If I had mid five or even less, I'd probably be happy.
Yeah, that's
I
the whole
enjoyed
point though. You got to have that
yeah.
aspirational goal, right?
Well, that's right. And I enjoyed so much, I'd probably do it if I just broke even, to be honest with you. It all started because I'm a big collector for 30 years, and I filled up. You mentioned your artist friend filling up his basement. I filled up my attic
Mm-hmm.
with quite a few pieces that I don't have enough wall space left to hang anymore. So that's where it all got started. I was originally just going to dump it all in auction, where I know there's a market for all of it.
So are you not actually an artist yourself? You just have this inventory?
No, I'm not. Well, no, let me qualify that. We're all artists, aren't we?
Yep.
Patrick, at heart, we just haven't found our niche yet.
Yeah.
So no, I don't. In terms of your description of what you're calling an artist. And by the way, I'm interested that you distinguish photographers from artists. We don't have to talk about that right now, but I've always
it's the bane of my existence, right? Because in marketing land out there, all you want is just one catch-all keyword, right? I just want to be able to say we help artists, and then instantaneously someone comes in. What, are photographers not artists?
Yeah,
and you know what else the problem is? Have you seen photography spelled out sometime recently? You know how long that word is when you have to do art and photography and fit it on things.
Yeah, I hear you. But so by the way, if I was a fine art photographer, I'd be all over your platform, because you guys are right on in terms of supporting somebody like that.
I think the issue for you, T. Wesley, is that you have the finite collection, right? And so unless you're going to build some sort of online vintage store in which the hardest thing to do is get attention, eyeballs, and people coming to your site and coming back again and again and again. And if I were in your shoes and I said I have 250 pieces and I want to build this big business up, well, it's a fool's errand, because you're going to build this big business up, and right about the time it starts getting critical mass, you're going to be running out of inventory. So if you were in a position where you wanted to restock it, then perhaps we'd be a fit. If not, I would probably, we could maybe send you a link to someone that's already doing all that work, and you could work out an arrangement to sell it all. But I wouldn't go working and grinding my butt off to build a big business with an inventory that was finite and was eventually going to go away.
Yeah. No, that's an excellent point. But from my perspective, I actually have an infinite pool of potential inventory. I mean, I can go out and restock what I have in my store now.
Oh, that's a different horse race entirely then.
I mean, that facet of the business is pretty well established. The question there, though, is being able to then resell at a margin that makes it worth my while. There's that issue.
Always.
Right.
Always.
So, yeah. So, but in any event, your comment about getting some eyeballs on it, and let's assume for the moment that I can replenish the inventory if I actually do generate some sales. This is a problem. I'm wondering if some of your other customers, or even the people on this call, might have, and maybe you can shed some light on. And I've read your materials about the criticality of advertising on Facebook, and I absolutely agree with you on that, particularly for my market, which does tend to kind of range into the upper ages. I've noticed so far in the marketing that I've done so far. Now, Facebook, and I didn't know this, and maybe you guys know this, and you know how to resolve this problem, is if you get a particularly popular page, or I think it's even caused by a very popular ad, and you get so many clicks through Facebook to your store, and in this case it would be if I was running my store on your platform, they will eventually disallow someone to click through those links. And the message I'm getting right now is it's a violation.
T. Wesley, I'd like to get on the phone with whoever told you that nonsense, okay, and slap him upside the head and stop poisoning my boy T. Wesley's head. That's utter nonsense. It's nonsense. So no, that's not a problem. That's not a problem at all.
Well, no, you don't understand. It's actually happening. I've been doing.
Yeah, but if it happened for some other reason. Maybe your frequency got too high in your audience. Facebook, if people are clicking through and buying things, the last thing that they're going to do is stop doing it. So that's that's not an issue.
Yeah. So I'm getting some bad advice there. You think it's something else?
Yes, you are.
anything else. What do you have any idea what else it would be that they would stop? They would
So
block
and I'll answer it, and then we're gonna keep moving. So what happens is that there's this thing called frequency, okay? And so you have an audience size based on whatever parameters or targeting you used, and it can be a very small audience, your remarketing audience, or you could say, show my ad to men in the U.S. aged 30 to 60, okay? In a small audience, there's this thing called frequency, and it's how many times those people have seen that ad. Facebook is incentivized to keep the content fresh and new all the time so that people do not get bored on their platform. So if they've seen your ads 65 times, even if people are clicking on it a bunch, if they don't sense the engagement signals are high, people are leaving comments, oh my gosh, I love this, I love this, I love this, then they're going to just, it's called when your creative burns out, essentially. And so that's probably what happened. Your audience size is not big enough, but it could be a number of different things. But yeah, the advice you're giving, I mean, the nonsense I hear about Facebook is enough to, I mean, if you've followed anything that we've done recently, I'm talking about that all the time. It drives me nuts. Okay. Kevin, you're up next. Kevin, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on? You hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, I was wondering if there was a way I could preview like an Art Storefronts website.
Yeah, absolutely.
To get an idea of like how it works. And I was wondering also how often you guys upgrade that platform. Like how often is the website changing?
Yep. Good questions, both. You know, it's really interesting too, because no artists, for the most part, have a website problem. They think they do, but they don't have a website problem. I mean, if you have a pretty portfolio site that's on WordPress or whatever, right? That's not even equipped to sell or has a shopping cart or anything like that, then you've got a website problem. But we have this Ferrari of websites, okay? The amount of bells and whistles and things that we have on here to sell art is like out of control. But it's not enough. It's nothing. It is a sports car sitting in your driveway with no gas in the tank. It's a fancy lawn ornament until you take care of the marketing piece. So that's number one. Number two, our websites, okay? And this is another little step back that I'll have to do. Trick question, right? What is the best way to sell art or photography, period? It's in person, face to face. No one's disputing that, okay? We all know that. So what do we need to do with our website? Our goal, our job is to take the in-person buying experience on a website and make it as close as possible to the in-person, okay? So all of our websites look like art galleries. They are extremely minimal. It's all about the art, all the color that comes through, everything that the eye is drawn to is the art. We get rid of all the nonsense you don't need and that artists think they need, that they spend a bunch of money to get developed, and oh, it looks so good. Yeah, it looks so good, but it sells nothing, does it? So we can send you website examples. You can see what they look like. That's on the overall look and feel of the website. In terms of upgrades, massive all the time. This is one of like our biggest competitive advantages, which is sort of awesome. And the way that it works is if you're an older website, an older established company that's been at the game for a long time, over the years, your code base just gets bloated and bloated and bloated and bloated. So you started out as a nice little 16-foot Boston whaler, and you can turn and change on a dime, and then you end up being a cruise ship, which it takes about 6.5 months to turn that thing around, i.e. add new features. Ours is completely modular, and the CEO coded the whole thing himself and is a coder, and we have a really good team. So I say all that to say the sheer amount of feature releases that we're shipping, although not like forward facing and visual, is striking. And literally all we do is we look at our customer base. Okay, we're a little bit over 4,000 now. We see the ones that are selling the most art. We go and look and see exactly why. We see if there's any features that will increase their selling art. We test it. If it works, we build it into the software. We just keep doing it. We don't care about anything but success. Our whole North Star, because we know, and this is one of those nice little lineups in life, we're in a symbiotic relationship with our customers. The more successful our customers are, it turns out, the bigger we grow as a business. And so all we're looking to do is just constantly add features that help them do their jobs better, sell more art, refer us more business. They grow, we grow. 2 oars, 1 boat, rowing in the same direction for the win. That's what I'd say.
Gotcha. All right. I think that's pretty much all I had. I'll just request that 10-minute thing you guys listed. So.
Yep. And they'll answer all the rest of the questions and then get you scheduled and get you rolling and everything else. They're awesome. Good questions though. But it's a hard thing to think about, right? Like the website is the least. The website is the least of your problems. We have this like white glove onboarding system, and we literally scream and yell at you in a very nice way. Okay, I'm not on there, otherwise the screaming and yelling would be loud. a very nice way. The site needs to get live in 14 days. Okay. And that's kind of where we're at. Some people that are, tech challenged, it goes longer than that, which is fine. But 14 days or less, and then get going on your marketing, because that's the most important thing. And you don't know what you don't know, right? Like, you've got to start driving traffic immediately. We've got to start getting you eyeballs. And especially considering Q4 is coming. And Q4, for those that don't know, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the holiday buying season, when all the blood is in the water and the credit cards are easy to come out, traditionally, okay, biggest art selling time of the year, right? So you go back quarter over quarter over quarter. We have multiple customers that do like 70 or 80 or 90% of their business for the entire year in the fourth quarter. Couple that's coming with the fact of a couple of things. One, no one's traveling anywhere. Okay, extra income. Dinner's out, not happening as much. Babysitters, certainly not happening as much. Everyone's still going to be stuck in their house. I no joke, and we had like a good economy going into this. I no joke think this is going to be the single solitary biggest fourth quarter for art and photography sales probably in the last 15 years. It's just like the perfect storm. It's like everything is just coming all at one angle. So I say that to say, get the website up, start marketing, start build a little attention, and then get going in the sales ahead of time. And it's going to be just a great time to be online, a great time to be selling. Okay, Elizabeth, you're up next. Gotcha.
All right. Hi.
Yeah. How many babysitters, how many nights out have you had recently, right? Like, not going out as much. Not going out as much. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. My question is, what do I do next? So this is my second art call that I've been on with you. I went and did a live show so that I could onboard with you.
Okay.
And this is, I'm in the middle of packing and shipping things. So you can see, I make my own boxes so that
sexy. Love that packaging. Wonderful.
This is what I paint.
Very cool. So how did the show go? Did you get some sales?
I sold 2 paintings.
Boom.
But not enough to onboard with you.
Yeah, that's okay.
So,
that's okay. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Here's the abstraction.
That was my third live.
Yeah, this is a difficult thing to think about.
So what do I do next?
Congratulations on the third live. Now go do 1,000 of them. Remember what I said about perspective and the long drive versus the short drive? Go do 1,000 of them. If you look, and by the way, this is important to me, okay? I'm not a guru. I don't read courses, okay? I don't go and buy education somewhere else. Yes, I read and I learn and everything else. Look at the Facebook page. Look at the Instagram account. Look at the YouTube account of Art Storefronts. And come back and tell me how many times I've done live broadcasts since March. It's probably over 500 at this point. Do you think I do that for my health? Do you think I do that because I like being on video? I hate being on video. I hate it. It's that effective. It's just that effective. It works that well. And I literally believe this live art selling, okay? And let's qualify this. And I've got 3 things that I'm going to put in the show notes, okay? We have this new show called Art Business Mornings where I ranted on live art shows for like 25 minutes. It's really good. I want all you guys to hear it. But this is an important thing to understand. It's so important. And it always like reverses your video, so I can't get my hands right. Best way to sell art, over here, in person, face-to-face. What do we have here? Our website. Do we need a website? Yes, we do. Why? Because it turns out we're geographically pinned down to this world right here, and we have 24 hours in a day. Website works all day long when we're sitting and sleeping. So the job is always to take the website and move it as close to in-person selling. But guess what? We have a new emergent. Guess who just showed up to the party? Video. Face-to-face video communication. I don't care if it's one-on-one. I don't care if it's one-to-many. I don't care if you don't get people on it first. It is the single solitary biggest breakthrough to come to the world of selling art and photography that I have ever seen, okay? Contemplate multiple shows I've run personally assisting our customers doing this. And, I use the example of Matthew Locke and how well he did. I've also got examples where every technological failure happened imaginable. The camera dropped. It was reversed. The audio was terrible. And guess what? Even in those situations, people are selling art. It works. It turns out I get to see you. You get to see me. I get to see your quirkiness. I get to see your cute kids. You know what? I like this, Elizabeth. She got some character. And then I follow you. And then I have this opportunity to buy. I would go as far to say the number one metric in most artist business right now should be how many one-on-one video chats you can book with a prospective buyer. I don't care what the technology is. Use FaceTime, okay? Use, what is the iMessage one? Is that FaceTime? I get them all confused. Use Messenger. Use Zoom. It doesn't matter. Use one of the free ones, but be willing to show people your art and talk about it, okay? And merchandise it. And Laura, I'm looking at you getting quoting prices and feeling comfortable about it, right? This piece is normally such and such. Because I'm trying to launch my art business, I'm marking it down to this. Let me know if you're interested. And then do another one and another one and another one. You know, like the big time comedians. And then I know, I'm sorry, I'm ranting. I'll get going on the rest of the questions. You know, the big time comedians, the George Carlins, the Chris Rocks, the Dave Chappelle's. You know what they do? They book these huge specials, okay? HBO, Netflix, huge special. And it starts getting advertised, and everyone sees that and they understand that, and they start getting excited about it. But what you don't see is they do like a 52-week tour to every small little comedy club all across the United States and Canada, sometimes Europe as well. And they're just doing the same show over and over and over. They're getting the reps and getting the sets for that big special. It's no different with these lives. It's like, tonight we're in Buffalo. Terrible show in Buffalo. That drunk chick in the front just kept harassing me, fell flat on my face. My jokes sucked. Guess what? Tomorrow night we're in Secaucus. Whole different ball game. I love throwing out the weird towns. So it's just one after another, after another, after another. Include the kids in it. Have a good time with it, and keep doing it until you're there and you're ready to go. Because let me tell you, once you do come on board, the skill set's gonna be transferable. Okay, it's gonna be transferable. It's literally the future of selling art, and especially like this COVID thing's not going away anytime soon. So it's literally the future. I mean, contrast loading up the car, putting your booth in, gassing it up, driving wherever it is, setting your booth up, 8 hours on your feet in the sun. You're eating crappy food. You're not getting exercise. You stay in a hotel. You come back on Sunday. You're exhausted. You're going to take a couple of days off your marketing and the booth fees, right? Or turn the camera on, pour a glass of wine, talk to your audience. Your kid's interrupting. Hilarious. Something broke technologically. Who cares? Keep going. Show the art. You're done. You're hanging out with your family. That was Friday night. Saturday, run 4 more. Sunday, run 4 more. You still have more energy. You didn't drive anywhere. You spent time with your family. You were online, and you got better at quoting price every time. It's amazing. It's amazing. And you're keeping 100% of that too. There's no middleman. You have all the contact info. So that's my rant. Don't stop. Don't stop. Okay.
So
go.
After I did all the promotion for everything, I just keep redoing the same thing, even though I like had an end time to the sale. I just
absolutely
do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Mix some different pieces in there. If you've got different pieces, if you showed all of your inventory, just say, you know, a lot of people missed the show, so I'm running it again. If you already came, that's great. But we have this human tendency, and it takes a long time to learn this in marketing land. You think you send an email, and we think everyone actually saw the email. Do you see every email that's sent to you? Absolutely not. No one does. I could probably send some people the same email 20 times, 20 days in a row, and they never saw it. It's like a part of our egos somehow. Like do you think you're so sweet that everyone actually sees your damn messages? No. Certain people see some, certain people see others. And so you just keep pushing it until you get 25 comments. Oh God, this thing again. So just keep doing it. You'll find new and creative ways to get better at it too.
Okay.
Yeah, just mix it up.
So would you say I'm having another sale, or would you just say here's a piece and merchandise one piece for a live?
Totally. So let me give you some ideas. Guys, it's Tuesday. I'm in a really good mood. I got a babysitter for the kids. It's Flash Sale Tuesday. And then Friday comes along. This election's almost over Friday. I'm going to celebrate by discounting the top 3 pieces. Ends today. The minute the show is over, the discount's done, right? Like, just come up with some creative ways. Could be Earth Day, could be Dog Day, could be Couch Day, whatever it is. They got days now for everything. Just look on the calendar and like, what is tomorrow? I'm not kidding. They've got it for everything. Waffle Day. My kids love waffles. To celebrate, I'm offering such and such off. What normally goes for $2,500, I'm willing to sell right now today for $1,000. And if nothing works, nothing sells, you care not, keep rolling. It's a game. No one likes to do it because it's not easy, right? It's not easy. Okay, Rhonda, then Nathan. Rhonda, you're up next. Help me, Rhonda. I got the mute.
There I am. Thanks.
Good work.
Okay, so my first call, and I'm sort of like in the position that Wesley Carroll was it. I'm not a photographer or an artist, but I do have about 80 works from another artist back in the 1940s. So I collected
yeah.
her
I saw
works.
you in the chat. Are those only to be sold as originals, or do you think?
They're all originals, so I
Right.
would imagine I would just sell them as an original. So,
Right, but are you gonna try to reproduce them and sell them as prints as well?
no,
No,
I
yeah,
don't think so.
it's just not a fit, Rhonda. I'll just tell you, it's not a fit. It's not worth it to learn all the technological stuff. And again, it's the exact same advice as T. Wesley, right? Like, you know, with a certain finite amount of inventory, am I going to try to build a giant business up and name recognition in the marketing? I would go to shows and fairs with those and blow them out till they're gone. That's what I do.
Do you have any appraisers on your staff, or are you associated with any galleries that you know?
We sure
going to.
we sure aren't. But I to be honest with you, I went to appraiser school for 17 years, and it's funny, there is no such thing as appraiser school, is there? You know how you appraise it? You get them all together, put some prices on them, you try and sell them, and you see what you can get. If you sell them all, raise the prices. If you don't, lower the prices. There, I've appraised it for you.
So you don't. So your company doesn't handle selling artwork, whether it's a print or.
No, we sure don't. We are not a gallery. We are empowering individuals to do their own selling. We don't sell anything direct for anybody. Yep.
Okay.
But thanks for hanging in on the call that long. I'm happy we were dynamic enough to keep you enraptured for at least that long. Yeah, I would just take those things to the show or the fair and blow them out. That's what you do. Nathan, you're up next. Go ahead, Nathan.
Hey Patrick, how's it going, guys?
Good.
I love these sessions. First of all, I was on Nick with Nick the other day.
Great.
Gave me some very useful advice on copyright and like watermarks, all that information. So that was very useful.
Nathan, I do feel a little guilty. I do feel a little guilty that you're driving while on the Zoom call.
Oh no, I'm not driving. Or sitting in the parking lot.
Okay, yeah. I'll take that. All right. Just gotta make sure.
Yeah, my daughter had a doctor's appointment today, so I'm sitting out here waiting.
Got it.
But anyway, I was wondering, like, how would photographers go about doing these live art shows? Do I need to like order these large prints?
Yep.
And then like do the Facebook Live and.
Yep. You do. It's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. This will be a little bit weird, but I'm just gonna show you. Okay. I practice what I preach. Okay. I practice what I preach around here. Okay. I gotta do this. Hold on. It'll take a second. I don't know if my rib's a mess. Maybe my kids screwed it up or
not. Oh, that's pretty cool.
I call this one Blue Boat on acrylic.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
beautiful.
I saw that one. That's beautiful.
Ready to hang. Even comes with a hook.
Yeah.
I'll even sign it for you. That's acrylic. Looks incredible on acrylic, doesn't it? Set that down here. This is a canvas gallery wrap. Yes, I realize they're stock images. Leave me alone. Look at the mirrored edges. Also ready to hang. Can get it framed. Don't need to get it framed. Wonderful. Normally $1,000, but because we're in this dumpster fire of a COVID situation, I'll let it go for $500 right now. Something along those lines. This is a wood print. A lot of people don't even realize that you can get your work printed on wood. Got what's called a French cleat on the back. It's ready to hang. Maple, 3/4 inch thick. Incredible. The texture really comes through. Metal print. Also awesome. Also ready to hang. My inspiration for this was A, B, and C. I'm going to sign this one for you. Maybe even a note, okay? I'm getting pretty good at the transition, huh? It's pretty smooth to go from green screen back. Now I popped back into another bar. Yeah, the long and the short of it is like, almost no customers even know the differences between the various different media types. So, I think back to Elizabeth's situation. She's like, well, what should I do? Well, talk about the media types. Explain what the media type is. And there you go, right? So, yes, you get prints, try to sell prints. Let me ask you this, Nathan, important. If your job was to sell knives door to door, what would you have with you when you knocked on the front door?
Knives.
Is photography any different? Get some prints made. And
yeah, I actually did that for a while.
Yep. Was it Cutco? Was it Cutco?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I've been around the block. I know things, Nathan. Yeah. So don't overthink it, dude. Just get some prints made and get at it. No more thinking. No more analytical. What if I did this? I did. No. Get the prints. Try to sell them. If they can, you're ready to party. It's that simple.
And is there like a acrylic versus a metal versus canvas? Like,
I'd get one of each.
I'd
get one of each. I would say big picture, acrylic and metal is really hot right now, no question, but it's different strokes for different folks. This is like one of the cardinal sins that both artists make is your product are prints on these various different media types, and you don't have them in your house. Get the sample kit. You got to have the sample kit. You need to be able to articulate what it is. And like, look, if I have, if Amzi on here calls me and he's interested in my art, okay, and I'm like, Amzi, I'd love to offer you a private showing. When do you want to do it? Such and such. Amzi, you know how I love to start these shows? I find people that are not very aware of all the different media types that exist out there. So I don't know if that's you, Amzi, or not. If that is, if you'd like, I could take a few minutes and walk through the various different media types and sort of accentuate the positives and do it just like I did. How hard is that? Easy. And yet no one has all the media types. You never know. Somebody might be like, wood? I didn't even know wood existed. That's amazing. You can get printed on wood? I was like, yeah, you can. If you want one, great. One more final follow-up on that is like, we had this gal, okay, and she's mega talented, okay? I'm not going to say her name so I can say this. She's been on the platform for 3 months, and she sold $17,000 worth of stuff already, okay? She's insanely good. And she's like, I don't like metal. And I don't want to put my stuff on metal. Ask me what percentage of that 17,000 in sales is actually metal. 60%. 60% because she got out of her own way and showed it, right? Like, don't outsmart the market before you even played the game, right? Like, you don't know what's going to work. It's like, I know how to catch fish, and so I'm just going to bring this one bait because this is the one that I like, versus you go down there with a tackle box of 6 different baits, you get them all in the water, oh my gosh, this one's working today. So don't outsmart your customers, and don't overthink it, Nathan. You have nothing else to do but order the prints and sell them any which way you can. Okay, that's done with the hands. I'm going to go through the chat and try to clean it up. Amzi, you got a song for us today, by the way? Sweet. Oh, God, this is the best. This is absolutely the best. Amzi's been on a couple of these calls, and this is a real treat because he plays this music on the way out. I don't want to put too much pressure on you, Amzi, but I've come to really enjoy it. Okay, in the chat. Yes, I see that. Does the software include software to manage sales, or do I need some other software? No, we handle all of that. All the back-end tools handle all of it. You don't have to do anything. And, that's another thing of like, we don't care what you sell, mind you, okay? You can sell originals, you can sell prints, you can sell courses, you can sell live teaching. Like, we have customers that span the gamut on everything else. But printing, okay, and worrying about printing and shipping, turns out getting really good at those and doing those yourself is not going to provide a high ROI for your business. You remember what I said about focus on the high ROI activities? If it's not marketing and it's not growing leads, it's not going to grow your sales. So we try to take as much of the nonsense off of your plate as possible. We're always doing that. So I hope that answers your question, Margie. I think that actually covers it. So Amzi, unless you have a question yourself, I'm really looking forward to a Friday play out, and I've unmuted you. You probably need to unmute yourself, Amzi.
All right, am I unmuted?
You're unmuted.
All right. I like that you were talking about the metal because I've never wanted to sell metal either, and now I see it. The colors seem to stay really bright.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's really
amazing.
Strong.
Yeah, it's flat on the wall. Like, it's just sexy looking. I'm telling you, I love it. It's actually, I don't know, between the metal and the acrylic, I'm sort of on the fence. I love them both, but I love the canvas too. And it's like, look, don't outsmart the market. Just have all the baits, and you never know what's going to bite.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, this is heavy metal.
Heavy metal. All right. Give it to us, Amzi.
Art Storefronts is the coolest, so don't you be foolish. Join right now, don't be sour, no
AMZ, honestly, it's the best part of my day when he does these things. And you guys, AMZ just has joined a few of these sessions, and I asked him to play one time with his guitar, and it's now become a thing, and I love it. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Thank you for dealing with my rants and my raves, and I hope absolutely everybody has a fantastic weekend. Bye, guys. Great job, AMZ.